Welcome to our weekly program. This program is a continuation of last week. Last week I read to you the answer of the Rabbi to this Chassid from the Gerer Chassid, the Rosh Yeshiva, where he went to the kever of the Chaim HaKadosh, and then the mother said that she doesn't let him go anymore until the Lubavitcher Rebbe will answer him, and you can always click back and see. Today, I want to share with you the other letter that he got from the Rebbe. And since this Shabbos is Chofov, that's 80 years, the Stalkus of the Rebbe's father. So at the end, after I read this letter that this Chassid got, I want to share with you two stories about the Rebbe's father. First, let me read the letter. The letter was written in Hebrew. This is in Hebrew, so I need to translate it into English. That he wrote to this Chassid that went to the kever of the Erechaim. This was written Mitzoi Tisha B'Av. It should be turned very soon, in addition to all fast days, to joy and gladness, and to festive days, the parsha of Ponim El Ponim Dibar Hashem, face to face. This I think last week. Greeting and blessing. Your letter and pan was received with pleasure. According to the custom of Yidden, which is Torah, we sanctify the new moon specifically on the conclusion of Tisha B'Av. This is a minhag that Mitzvah Tisha B'Av we do the Kiddush Levana. Now, by the way, always reminds me, speaking about Kiddush Levana, I know that Kiddush Levana has to do with refuah. And I know it has specially refuah for teeth. I know that Rebbe, whenever he was Kiddush Levana, he always used to touch his lips, always like that, because that has to do with teeth. That reminded me. But Mitzvah Tisha B'Av is the minhag to Mimikadish Levana. The reason the Rebbe writes for this custom, given in a number of sources, is that it's good news that Yidden and the Shechina are destined to be renewed like the moon, just as the moon is renewed. Also, in the Mincha, in the afternoon, on Tisha B'Av, Mashiach was born. It is therefore an auspicious time, the Rebbe writes to him, for us to renew our awakening to good resolutions in all matters of tshuva and Torah and mitzvahs, as these are what nullifies the cause of the exile, since it's only because of our sins that we were exiled from our land, and when we immediately nullify the cause, they are redeemed. This is in Hebrew. I'm translating in English. Since good resolutions made by the community, public, are very powerful, may we accept these resolutions when the many are gathered in joyous gatherings, which means gatherings of Torah learning, since it is the Torah that gladdens the heart and brings light to the eyes, and joy breaks barriers and confinements. We do this with the learning of Torah and Hidur mitzvahs. Gathering, especially during these auspicious times, close to Tisha B'Av and at least near Tisha B'Av, and also during the Shabbos after, which is when we bless the month of Elul, which is the month of accounting, and completion of the past year. 3 times is a chazaka, the strength of Torah and its mitzvahs, and with joy and gladness of heart always and all days. Blessings for success in all the above, as all this will also hasten that very soon will be fulfilled the promise that these days will be turned from now on to joy and rejoicing and festive days. Emes v'sholem ha'evei. Truth and peace he loves. And all will know that you and your name are the only one, and above all, the world, with the true and complete redemption with our righteous Mashiach. And the Rebbe signs this letter to this person. Now then the Rebbe writes a P.S. Shabbos Kodesh that comes after Tisha B'Av is Chof Ov, the Yortzeit Hilule of my father, Levi Yitzchak ben Horav, my grandfather, Baruch Shneir Zal, now 40 years. This was 40 years ago. This letter was written. Now it's 80 years already. Now, speaking about the Rebbe mentions here, his Zayde was called Baruch Shneir. Bemes, Rabbi Levi Yitzchak's father was named, when he was born, he was named by the Bris, Shneir Zalman, not Baruch Shneir. But since I think he was sick, he got very sick, so they named him maybe after the Rebbe's Elter Zayde, Baruch Shneir, who was the son of the Tzemach Tzedek. The Tzemach Tzedek had 7 children. They were all Rebbes. Baruch Shneir was the oldest, but he wasn't a Rebbe. But we see that even from Baruch Shneir came out a Rebbe. The Rebbe is a Ur from Baruch Shneir. Just want to mention that. It is my obligation and merit to suggest and ask to learn in his honor from his teachings and to give tzedakah, who devoted his life to the spreading of Yiddishkeit among our fellow Jews behind the Iron Curtain. And because of his activities, he was imprisoned and judged to be exiled, where he passed away and where he is buried. May his merit protect us all and all Yidden Shlita. This is what he wrote to this Eid, and he felt, this Eid felt, it's chuz that the Rebbe wrote to him such a letter. So I wanted to read this letter before Chafov. Now, I want to, since Chafov, I want to mention a couple stories. There's many stories about the Rebbe's father, but I want to mention a story that I heard from Rabbi Nanis. Now, there's different girsas, but I can just tell you the way I heard from him. He was in America. And also a story that I heard from my Zayde. Rabbi Nanis learned in Toib Mimi by the Rebbe Rashab. In the middle of the Zman, that's the way I heard from him. In the middle of the Zman, he had to go home. Maybe it was health reasons, I don't know. So he told the Rebbe Rashab that he has to go home. So the Rebbe told him, when you go home, you should pass by Rabbi Levi Yitzchak's house, and I don't know what else he told him. Just go to Rabbi Levi Yitzchak. That's all he told him. I don't know whether it was on the way home or not, but since the Rebbe Rashab told him to go to Rabbi Levi Yitzchak, so he made sure to go. He came to Rabbi Yitzchak before Shabbos. So he told Rabbi Yitzchak that the Rebbe said I should come to you. So he said, okay. He says, come come before Shalashudis. I want to talk to you. I'll tell you something. Remember. Now, the Rebbe's father was a minog. He used to probably Shalashudis. It's a Raivin, the Raivin. He's a Baal Mekubal. So he came, Rabbi Zanan said, he came before Shalashudis to see the Rebbe's father. So the Rebbe's father called him in, and he said to him, come with me. He took him, he showed him a room there was a bulb there. It was pretty dark, but it was a small bulb. And he says, look good, look. He'll come useful to you. Look. That's what I heard from him. Who was sitting there? The Rebbe. The Rebbe was a bacher, and the Rebbe was sitting and learning. It says, Cook, that's it. And then he went home. So Rabbi Zanan says that later on, he was in prison in Russia. Anyways, later on, Baruch Hashem, he came to America. And he came to the Rebbe over here. I don't remember what years. Lamed's in the Mems, I remember what year. He came to America. So he went into Yechidus to the Rebbe. And he told the Rebbe what his father told him. So the Rebbe smiled to him and he says, "Nu, ich bin dir zu nichts gekommen. Am I useful to you?" That's it. I mean, here we see from the what did the Rebbe's father mean? I mean, it was the Rebbe Rashab was the Rebbe then, and the Frierdiker Rebbe wasn't even a Rebbe then, and the Rebbe for sure was a Bocher. But this is a story that I heard from him, so I wanted to share a story like that. Then I want to share you another story. I mean, there's much more, but we didn't have no time. That I heard from my Zayde. My Zayde, as you know, was the Rebbe's Melamed, Rebbe's teacher, the Rebbe's teacher of the Rebbe and his brothers, from the age of, I think, 6 or 7 till 11. We have mentioned a few weeks ago that he lived in Padabranke, so the Rebbe's father asked him to come. He was a sheikhet, but he needed a Yerushalayim. He needed a Melamed a Yerushalayim. He bedavke wanted my Zayde to come to Yekaterinslav to be a teacher for his children. He says that teacher is important to be a Yerushalayim. It's a lesson that we have to learn out when you have a Melamed. Make sure that it's a Yerushalayim. Anyways, so he came. So my Zayde, so my Zayde was a Melamed. Shabbos HaGodel. The Rebbe's father had a minhag, had a custom to say a Shabbos HaGodel droshe. So he put on a talus. I guess the minhag, some people put a talus. People by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, after Suda Shabbos, used to come and listen to the droshe of the Rebbe's father. I mean, a lot of people, big Rabbanim used to come. They listened. There was a full packed shul. So the Rebbe's father had that's the way he had a minhag. That when he used to speak, first of all, he spoke long. I think the Rebbe had, usually Rabbi didn't, but the Rebbe is also long. So he used to speak long. He started with Nigle, and then he used to fakrich in Chassidut, in Kabbalah. But he started with Nigle. So he started to speak. My Zayde was in shul. And the Rebbe was a little boy of 9, 10, 11 years old, standing in the back by the door. So he, after speaking maybe half an hour, so the Rebbe's father stopped and he said, "I don't know if people understand what I'm saying here, or I remember the lashon, but I don't know if it's hard to understand or they don't understand. But der Ingele," is he pointed at the Rebbe, "this boy, versteht was er sagt. He understands what I say." And this was the Rebbe, was then a young boy. So since it's before Chavav, I thought I would share with you these two stories. So I want to say, the Yortzat's 80 years, a special year, for Kitzu Randu Sheikh Neofer, Zayin Take Tchis HaMesim, Bekorik Mamish, You should be zeicha to the Geula Shleima, the Korev Mamish Yimitz Hashem. Next week we'll continue our weekly program. Thank you.